Hello and welcome. We're live here on Forever Sports. We're in Vancouver for the next leg of the World Series in the Sevens tournament. And it's South Africa, the Blitzboks, up next shortly against New Zealand in their crunch pool game. Of course, the other two teams in the pool, Ireland and Australia. So it doesn't get any easier for the Blitzboks. But it's an absolute pleasure from myself, Roots, to take you through this one. Give a shout out in the comments section who you think is going to take this one. Coming up shortly at the moment is still Spain against USA. We saw Fiji a little bit early on do away with Uruguay. The resurgence of South American rugby. Just not able to get over the line against Fiji. But from wherever around the world you tuned in, do give a shout out where you're watching from, who you're supporting. No doubt if you're South African, you will be supporting the Blitzboks. And for Philip Snyman, of course, without Zane Davids for this clash. But we look at the likes of Sebastian Job back in the side as well. Look out for our main man who's taken over the captaincy, Selvin Davids, for this tournament in Vancouver. We're at BC Place in Vancouver. It's Friday night in South Africa, almost 10 p.m. South African Standard Time. Kickoff just after 10 South African Standard Time this evening. But the tournament itself being played in Vancouver, Canada. And it's the Blitzboks who will be looking to do a little bit better than they did in Perth. Came unstuck against Spain, of course, for third place. And at the moment, as the standings are, Fiji on top, followed by Argentina and Spain. The interesting part about that is all three sides on 48 points at the moment on the overall standings. South Africa in fourth position with 44 points. Tight at the top, France at fifth with 40 points. Australia sixth with 30 points. New Zealand seventh. They'll be looking to do a little bit better than they have been in the last couple of tournaments. Only managed to get 4 points from their efforts in Perth. A rather lackluster display from the New Zealand Sevens team, it must be said. But it is South Africa, New Zealand, always makes for an epic clash. And we'll be taking you through live here on Forever Sports for that clash coming up shortly. Great Britain then make up the top 8 in the standings with 20 points. It's all irrelevant now. Each tournament, each game can play out so differently in the blink of an eye. It can all change. And for Philip Snyman and his men, there's not many tournaments left from Vancouver. They head off to Hong Kong and then to conclude, should I say, the Sevens circuit. They'll be heading to Singapore. South Africa, of course, did get gold at home in Cape Town. Fell short in the first tournament in Dubai, the Blitzboks. Meager sixth position in that first tournament. They took gold in Cape Town and then in Perth, fourth position. They'll be looking to really lay a mark down here. They've got a tough group ahead of them. It's Australia and New Zealand and Ireland, of course. Ireland have dipped a little bit in form, but non-negotiable, the first game for the Blitzboks, if you're a South African fan, is a must-win against our arch nemesis. The rivalry goes on for years, whether it be in sevens or 15s. South Africa and New Zealand is always an exciting clash. And of course, later on in the year, we do have South Africa travelling to New Zealand, Rassie Erasmus and the Springboks. In the land of the long white cloud, go for 2 test matches down in New Zealand in the Rugby Championship. Of course, they do have France and Ireland end of year tour. as well, South Africa. This is the 15-man's game. A lot of rugby to look forward to. And a great game to look forward to as well, coming up shortly. It's the USA at the moment, just to fill you in, leading Spain by 7-0 with a little over 2 minutes to go there. But we're building up for the big one. South Africa against New Zealand. I'm going to take you through the squad for the Vancouver Sevens, starting with the Springbok Sevens team, the Blitz box. Ryan Oosthuizen, Impie Visser, Ricardo Duarte, Ronald Brown, Selvin Davids, Siviwe Suzwaipi, Shilton van Wyk, Kieran Nokia, Donovan Don, Sebastian Job, David Brits, Zander Reinders, and Tristan Lates make up the squad for this tournament. No Zane Davids, who's out with an injury. He'll be sorely missed, the big man. But that is the South African Blitzbox squad for this tournament here in Vancouver. We'll go through the New Zealand Sevens squad. Brady Rush, Tony Ngashu, Ollie Mathis, Dylan Collier, the captain, Andrew Newstub, Joe Webber, Lewis Ormond, Jaden Keelan, Ngarohi McGarvey Black, Sione Molia, Regan Ware, Frank Vainuku, and Safai Maka. That's the New Zealand squad. It'll be taking on the challenge here in Vancouver. South Africa will have their second game, of course, tomorrow morning, South African Standard Time, after 3 early morning stuff against Ireland, and then tomorrow evening at 10:25, 9:35. South Africa will conclude their pool game against Australia. What a game to look forward to here on Forever Sports. If you've just tuned in, it's the Blitz box up against New Zealand. Coming up shortly, but as we see it now, there might be some extra time being played in this game preceding that. No, in fact, Spain have scored with merely 30 seconds and a bit to play. So great win here perhaps for Spain. And that's the thing with Sevens rugby, anything can happen. And the bounce of the rugby ball can be so unforgiving at times, especially when you're on the wrong side of the scoreboard. The Blitz box want to be efficient, no doubt. Take their opportunities when you're in the danger zone. To get over the line against New Zealand is by no means an easy feat. They're going to have to pull out all the stops. And we look out for our talisman, Selvin Davids, captaining the side in the Vancouver leg. There is time for a restart here for Spain, but they now lead by 14-7. Give a shout out in the comment section where you tuned in from. Let's get behind the Blitz box. We know it's Friday night, or it's Friday Night Lights. If you're a rugby fan, the Sevens is always full of action. Couple of minutes to go before kickoff here on Forever Sports. It's South Africa and New Zealand. Still Friday, what is it, Friday afternoon in Vancouver. Not really a full crowd at the moment, but they'll build up to it as the weekend gets going. All the festivities. And look at that, the USA score. A conversion will take them to extra time, which will delay the kickoff for the Blitz box, of course, but that's irrelevant. Where are you all tuned in from? You give a shout out in the comment section. Crucial kick here for the USA to draw level. Otherwise, it's all over. The time is in the red. It has gone wide. There's no conversion, and Spain beat the USA. But up next, of course, that was just a taster to warm us up for the Blitz box up against New Zealand. And the Blitz box would want to win this game. Take the pressure off just a little bit. Going to that Irish game, knowing they got points on the table. As it stands, Pool C, on top of Pool C is Fiji at the moment, of course, with their victory over Uruguay, and then followed by Spain, who just defeated the USA. But our attention now turns to Pool B. Coming up shortly, live from the BC Place Stadium in Vancouver, it's South Africa and New Zealand who come running out onto the field to kick off Pool B, should I say, of this leg of the Sevens World Series circuit. Oosthuizen, Visser, Brits, Brown, Davids, Van Wyk and Nokia in the starting lineup for the Blitz box. Warren from Israel, shout out. Warren says, go boys. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Accuracy, crucial. Historically, two of the best teams on the circuit, as history would have it, alongside the likes of the Flying Fijians. But it is South Africa who will kick off from left to right. Will we see the contestable kick to try and get possession back? We're almost underway. Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go! Vancouver, hello! New Zealand are in possession. South Africa there, just unfortunately from a loose pass, trying to get onto the loose ball. But Shilton van Wyk just knocking it on in the process. It's going to be a scrum down to New Zealand. Just outside their own 22, New Zealand 5 meters in. From this left-hand touchline, it's New Zealand to feed. It's a clean scrum from New Zealand. New stub finds his support out. They switch from right to left now, but a great tackle. South Africa there. It's Ronald Brown pinning New Zealand right back into their own danger zone. They want to try and break out of their own 22 here, New Zealand, but South Africa keeping their defensive shape. New Zealand look to shift it. Weber gets past the first tackle, but a wonderful follow-up tackle from Ryan Oosthuizen. South Africa reloading on defense pretty seamlessly, but New Zealand hold on to possession. Regan Ware finds support. New Zealand hot on the attack, keeping the ball alive. Up and over halfway. Surely that's gone forward, Mr. Rev. Yes! The pass to Joe Weber went forward. And fortunately for the Blitz box, they get an opportunity now to attack. They've been under the pump early on here defensively, but they're stuck now 15 meters in from this left-hand touchline on their own 10-meter mark. South Africa defensively the most accurate team on the circuit this season, only conceding an average of about 10.5 tries per tournament. That's a wonderful statistic. They're on the attack now. Davids, who's going to get there? It's Nokia. You go, you beauty. Up and away. Try time. It's Kyo Nokia with his 26th international try on the 7th circuit. He's first here in Vancouver. The blitz box first to open up the scoring here. And he's got jet shoes to go, go, go and score the try. Nokia with the 5-pointer, the conversion attempt just fading away past this right end upright. But it is the blitz box in the lead by 5 points to 0. And they kick off now. New Zealand gather the restart. In possession on New Zealand. Dylan Collier from the base. Working their way up to their own 10-metre mark now. Newstup takes it in. He's brought to ground. They shift it down this left-hand side. Stretching South Africa. Impey Fissa on McGarvey Black. Wonderful tackle. But New Zealand keep it alive. South Africa not rolling away. And New Zealand play quickly. Up and into the 22 they go. New Zealand in possession. From right to left, stretching the defence. Dylan Collier driving his way. He's only 2 metres away. Is there an opportunity? Yes, there is. Tane Ngashiu gets the try for New Zealand. Relentless attack. And Dylan Collier pumping the legs. Impey Fissa trying to hold him up to no avail. And then Tane Ngashiu over for the try. Made it look easy. But it started way back inside their own half. South Africa are going to have to do a little bit more to get their hands on the ball to attack. You can't be defending for so much of the first half. They want to go into half time in the lead, no doubt. Perhaps create some sort of buffer. But it's New Zealand who restart. The conversion unsuccessful. South Africa in possession. David Brits goes in at the base. It's Selvin Davids. Can he break away? Keeps the ball alive. Shilton van Wyk. The gas man's out wide. Nokia up and over halfway onto the 10-metre mark of New Zealand. But South Africa unable to secure possession at the breakdown. Penalty New Zealand. And you can see they want to get things going as quickly as possible. South Africa back to defence here. Up to halfway now, but not releasing the tackled player, South Africa. Giving away penalties here. 3 already conceded. 0 to New Zealand. So New Zealand have got the discipline on point at the moment. South Africa need to be a little bit better in as far as ruck time is concerned, especially securing possession. New Zealand with double the amount of carries in this first half, indicative of them throwing the ball around. They kick it into touch, and it's a line out, won by New Zealand. It's Weber. Here's an opportunity now for Regan Ware. The pass gone wide, fortunately for South Africa. JP says not good defence there. Yeah, it was. Dylan Collier there was pumping the legs. He got some pup and flights in for breakfast. But it is South Africa who have the line out, won by Westhuizen. South Africa now look to have the last opportunity to attack here. Selvin Davids away to Shilton van Wyk. Kionok here to Westhuizen. Is there an opportunity? Can he find support? Nokia. Up and into the 22 of New Zealand they go. And New Zealand are going to get a yellow card. It's Andrew Newstab who's going to go to the bin for 2 minutes. In the danger zone, the referee doesn't have much patience. JP says SA discipline costing them. Very valid point, JP. Where you tuned in from, brother? Wonderful work from South Africa. Line out deep inside their own 22 on this left-hand touchline. Found themselves just inside the 22 of New Zealand. They've got a one-man advantage now. Can they make it count? They've called for a scrum. It's Selvin Davids. They play down this right-hand blind side. There's a one-man advantage. They don't need it because it's try time. And it's that man, Ronald Brown, with his 41st International Sevens career try. And they just had to exploit the numbers there. They played down this right-hand blind side. Ronald Brown had support outside him. He didn't need it. He's over for the try in the blitz box. They've hit double figures. Can they add the extra 2 via the boot of Selvin Davids? Come on. It's sailing. Sailing. Over. That's what we do. The blitz box in the lead by 12-5. It's half time, folks. Not easy going in that first half. Under the pump defensively. But when it mattered, they came up with the goods. The key now would be in the second half to hit first, to create a 2-score buffer, put the pressure on New Zealand, and keep that defensive shape. And as JP says, keep the discipline or the amount of penalties conceded at a bare minimum. They already conceded 3 penalties in that first half. And each penalty conceded is an opportunity for the attacking team, or the opposition, should I say, to attack and score. In this game of sevens, the margins are so fine. You want to be as accurate as possible for the moment. South Africa doing enough to get in the lead by a converted try. It's 12-5. New Zealand have done all the running, but now it's up to South Africa to turn the screws just a little bit tighter here in the second half. We're almost underway. Majestic Stadium here at the BC Place in Vancouver. Underfoot, perfect conditions. And we're in for an exciting second half. The blitz box need a victory here to set the tone for the Vancouver Sevens. It's going to be New Zealand to kick off from left to right. And we are underway in the second half. It's Ronald Brown who collects deep inside his own 22. South Africa. Selvin Davids, he's away. Look at him motor. He can't find Kionok here. It's knocked on. Small margins there. The pass just behind him. Gifting the opposition, in this case New Zealand, the opportunity with the scrum down. 5 meters in from this left-hand touchline. Just about on South Africa's 10-meter mark. South Africa don't want to go tit for tit. They want to make sure they can at least get another try to keep a buffer between the two sides. New Zealand from the base. South Africa defensively sound for the moment, still playing with 6 men. New Zealand. McGarvey Black. Or it's Vainuku, should I say. Dylan Collier looking to break away. He's brought to ground. Regan Ware. New Zealand stretch the South African defence. They centre field now. South Africa don't want to concede. With New Zealand only having 6 players on the field, it's a missed tackle. Defensively, South Africa. It's Vainuku again, bumping away defenders. Get out of my way, son. Can South Africa weather the storm here? Into the 22 they are. Dylan Collier brought to ground by Ryan Oosthuizen. The blitz box. Under the pump again. Here in the second half. How long can they hold out? South Africa not rolling away on this occasion. Oosthuizen making a wonderful tackle. But Andrew Newstup could potentially be coming back. Yes, he is. New Zealand back to a full complement. And South Africa inviting New Zealand here into their danger zone. Just conceding too many penalties. And for that matter, in the wrong areas of the field on this occasion, Oosthuizen just trapped in that ruck, couldn't roll away. The referee blowing his whistle, and rightfully so. New Zealand have called for a scrum as we see South Africa making a couple of substitutions. Donovan Dunn on the field. That was Vainuku there, a couple of phases earlier, just throwing Selvin Davids aside. MMA style. Whilst making his way over the advantage line. Tristan Lates on the field. Will we see those fresh legs make a difference for the blitz box? They've got to defend here. It's a scrum down, South Africa, doing just enough to disrupt that. It was Selvin Davids with a little cheeky attempt to disrupt the scrum off from the base. And South Africa will have the turnover. Centre field just inside their own 22 as we see New Zealand making a couple of substitutions. Some tired legs for South Africa. They've been defending for a large part of this game. It was Mugabe Black on that occasion who just couldn't hold on to the pass. Little bit of pressure from Selvin Davids. Just enough. The referee called for a reset here, South Africa. Front row, Swazwipe, Oosthuizen and MP Visser. Can they hold their own? South Africa need clean ball here. And a score. To create that buffer we were talking about now. It's Selvin Davids to feed. Shaping right, but then coming down this left-hand side. It's Donovan Dunn. He's kicked it ahead. Is there an opportunity? Who wants it? South Africa. Tristan Lates there to defend. Donovan Dunn over the ball. Donovan Dunn wins the penalty. And South Africa, between the 10-metre mark and 22 of New Zealand, about 15 metres in from touch, get the penalty. They can slow it down a little bit here, but an opportunity, if they're accurate enough, to get that second score and put real pressure on New Zealand. Force their hand here. South Africa have their destiny in their own hands. Here in the first game of Pool B in Vancouver, it's Selvin Davids to feed. And this time around, New Zealand get the penalty. South Africa with the knee on the ground at scrum time. You don't see that too often. And they've conceded another penalty. Discipline, a real issue for the moment. As New Zealand play down this left-hand side, they look to break away. South Africa defensively stretched to the limit as New Zealand play down this right-hand touchline. forcing them back. Sometimes you've got to go backwards to go forward. New Zealand now starting from their own 22 again. Wonderful defense there, eventually bringing Ollie Mathis to ground, but New Zealand still recycled the ball. The accuracy in recycling, sublime from New Zealand. But on that occasion, lost forward. It's advantage South Africa now. Selvin Davids. Is there an opportunity? The race is on. Tristan Lates. Oh, just can't hold on to it. It's play on. It was Suzwapi. And it's all gotten loose now. Dylan Collier's away. New Zealand want to score. They're going to score with a minute and a half to play. And we're in for an exciting finish here. One end to the other. South Africa were playing under advantage after a knock-on from New Zealand. But just an opportunity lost for the Blitzboks. The advantage was called over and then they lost it forward. New Zealand via Dylan Collier, then Sione Molia. And at the end, the man who received the yellow card, Andrew Newstubb, gets the try. The conversion is wide. South Africa crucially hold on to a 2-point lead here with a little under a minute to play. New Zealand have got it. South Africa have the penalty. Crucially, New Zealand gathered the restart almost moments. South Africa would have wanted to forget there from the restart. Tristan Lates, who got it there? It was Lewis Ormond. So Swipe went in over the ball and then New Zealand tried to recycle it and off their feet. South Africa have called for a scrum. They held on to a slender 2-point lead here in the first game of Pool B in Vancouver. Time is up. South Africa had an opportunity to kick it out. They do kick it out. It was Duarte who came away with it, but Tristan Lates said, "We've had enough. It's over." South Africa are victorious by 12 points to 10. A close encounter, but the Blitzboks get over the line and set themselves up now in Pool B. Should they take victory over Ireland, they can go marching on. Philip Snyman and his men, of course, will be very, very happy with that victory. South Africa 12, the Blitzboks victorious over New Zealand by 12 to 10. It's been an absolute pleasure to take you through this one. From myself, Roots, until next time, bye for now.